Further afield, and Ukrainian authorities say that the safety of the nuclear power plant is now secured after a fire broke out at a training building when the complex came under fire from Russian forces. Meanwhile, Ukraine's president has urged his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, to sit down for talks while calling for more international support.
Russian troops attacked Europe's largest nuclear power plant, setting a part of the Ukrainian facility ablaze in an assault the country's leader branded nuclear terror and said could endanger the continent. Images on a live feed from the nuclear plant site earlier showed blast lighting up the night sky and sending up plumes of smoke. After hours of uncertainty throughout the night, local authorities reported the fire was extinguished at dawn. They had earlier reported that no immediate radiation rise was detected and essential equipment was unaffected, but it remained unclear when the invading forces planned next. President Zelensky spoke with world leaders, including US President Joe Biden and British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who called for a halt to fighting at the nuclear plant. Johnson accused Russian president of reckless actions that he said could now directly threaten the safety of all Europe. Johnson accused Russian president of reckless actions that he said could now directly threaten the safety of all of Europe. The British leader will seek an emergency UN Security Council meeting in the coming hours, according to a statement from his voice. Zelensky angrily denounced the attack.
This is the first time in our history, in the history of mankind, the terrorist state now resorted to nuclear terror. If there is an explosion, it is the end of everything, the end of Europe. This is the evacuation of Europe. Only immediate Europe action can stop Russian troops.
Zelensky called for direct talks with Putin, saying they were the only way to stop this war, but he also urged the West to step up military assistance. Much of the international community has rallied behind Ukraine since Putin invaded, making Russia a global outcast in the worlds of finance, diplomacy, sport and culture. But the offensive has continued despite punishing international sanctions, and Putin said that his invasion was going strictly according to schedule. Russia has intensified strikes across the country with fresh reports of civilian casualties and devastating damage, particularly in southern areas near the first city to fall to Moscow's troops. In a second round of talks held on Thursday, Moscow agreed to a Ukrainian request for humanitarian corridors to allow terrified residents to flee, but there was no immediate clarity on how they would work and no sign of any move towards a ceasefire. More than 1 million people have fled Ukraine amid Russia's assault.
Certainly a story we are keeping close.